Ticket time.
Ticket time, yes.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
We got Nico from last year, AB, new camper. We got Ant here, TT119, Trailer Tom, the creator of Pin 20, Battle for First Chair. If you guys haven't seen that movie yet, it's right here. And we got Sean from last week.
Johnathan Buckhouse, Snowboard Camp.
This is my all-inclusive adult snowboarding camp.
Nico Rabushka from Thousand Oaks, California. Home mountain is Mountain High. It's located in Wrightwood. It's off the 14 highway. Pretty rad little resort. I think my favorite part is that there's just park features throughout the entire thing. It's kind of what sparked my interest in learning to ride park is you go on every run and there's always a feature to hit. So that's what I like the most about it. I went to summer camp last year and absolutely fell in love with it. And I had a tough decision this year coming because I was like, you know, Mammoth is open, but I love riding with these guys. And just, I looked at some old videos from last year and it kind of reminded me of the progression I had and also just the enjoyment I had out here riding with people with similar minds. So stoked to be out here again. Jonathan's been coaching me on snow this year and helping me get some tricks and working some tweaks out. So honestly, all about progression and just hanging out with some of my favorite guys to ride with. I think the best part of camp is just being here with people who all have the same mindset. I mean, people are coming from a bunch of different places. You know, we have a kid from Hong Kong this year and riding with people like Ant. It's coming from Florida now. So all these different mindsets and places. However, you know, people have the same goal when they're here to progress and have a great time. And that always happens. You know, we have a kid, AB, who's just starting to ride and do his first 180s and he's stomping them. And it's also just so exciting to be around people when you're progressing because it reminds you of when you used to be there and you get excited for them because there's just no better feeling than watching your homie stop a new trick. So with park terrain, I'd say the one thing I like to think of as smart progression. There is like send it progression where, you know, I have some homies that just go after it and they'll take their wrecks, but they'll get some sick tricks. I think smart progression, you know, breaking down a trick, like let's say you want to go 270 onto a rail, like, you know, make sure you got the 180s on first and then your front boards. Whatever way you're going and break it. I like to break it down a bigger trick into smaller pieces. Make sure you have every different piece of it. That way when you piece it all together, it's one cohesive unit. And also just, you know, sometimes there's a little bit of send it, but when you want to send it hard the right days, you know, if you want to go upside down, wait for the powder days. Don't be going out on the firm days. So pick and choose your battles on your days. And there's also some days when you know you're in the zone. And when you know you're in the zone, definitely take advantage of it and throw some new tricks. Probably some of my most proud riding was coming out to winter camp. I have zero experience in the backcountry or deep snow, just coming from Southern California and the resorts I ride, it's not very often. You know, we get deep snow and you're inbounds, maybe a few tree runs, but when I went out to Telluride especially, doing some big gnarly terrain that I've never seen before, I think it was what I was most proud, just being able to follow some people through some stuff. You know, your heart's beating out of your chest, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, and then like I said, it goes back to the original feeling. You go down and you look up at some gnarly stuff now and then you're like, I didn't even think I could ride that and I just did it. So it's a great feeling of accomplishment. So the thing I enjoy most about snowboarding is just that no matter what kind of day you're having before, usually for me is you go out there and all of your worries are just gone. Like you'll be having a really bad day before or maybe something bad went wrong. You're like, I just need to go to the mountain. You get on the mountain and you forget it. You're just in your element. Like, I feel like it's my natural element. So I think snowboarding helps clear my mind. It's a way for me to truly be myself. And I think the best part about it is sharing yourself and your happiness with others. You know, like I said, you meet a bunch of random people on the mountain and you get really, really tight with some homies and you're all sharing the same experience and you know what each other's going through, like on the snow, maybe off the snow if you're close enough, and being able to have a place to come together and forget about things and just vibe is, I think, the greatest aspect of snowboarding. Be positive, be happy, you know. Sometimes you do have frustrating days on the mountain, and when that happens, I think take a step back and just realize you are on a mountain snowboarding. You're not working at this time, or you're not dealing with something else that may be stressful. Like, in reality, you are on a mountain just snowboarding. You're on a plank of wood riding down some snow. So just smile, wipe the frustration away, and enjoy it.
Come to the camp. It's one purchase. Then you got to get here, and then we got all the food, all the riding, all the tickets, all the coaching covered, and then you're going to be filmed. And we're going to give you coaching on snow, and then coaching back at the camp house with the video breakdown, as well as super fun activities like going to Trillium Lake and swimming, or snowga, skateboarding, all kinds of fun activities. But it's basically an all-inclusive camp for adults, and we send it and learn how to snowboard better. Camp this year, I think the best part so far has been the weather. Doing an early June camp, you can sometimes get rained out or stormed out, and the weather has been sunny and shiny. Sometimes it's a little cold and windy, but we're snowboarding, so it's nothing new to us. And yeah, we just send it and have a good time. We also have an adult winter camp as well, all-inclusive. Guys, girls can come. This is intro to big mountains, so it's not so much as coaching as it's much of an experience-based camp. So you've never been in a snowcat before, we'll do a snowcat tour. Never rode big gnarly chutes, well, you're not going to go do them by yourself, with a bunch of like-minded individuals with you. We also do bro camp or crew camp. You don't have to be a bro to come to bro camp. Girls are welcome as well. But it's wakeboarding, surfing, and skateboarding, where we're going to be sending out Waco, Texas. It's kind of our home base for this. There's a wave pool there where you're going to get perfect waves to learn how to surf. You're going to have awesome Waco skate park not Waco, but yeah, Waco, Texas skate park to send it at and shred at with the skateboarding, as well as Waco Surf has a cable park, which we're going to teach you guys how to wakeboard. Once again, learning how to surf by yourself, kind of lame. Learning how to wakeboard by yourself, kind of lame. So if we go and do this together as a group with like-minded people, it's more fun, everyone has a good time, and that's all-inclusive in Texas, so the housing, the food, the tickets, all that is in one price, and we take care of you guys, and we have a sick time. So the first time I ever went riding, I was 11 years old. My dad got stationed in Hawaii, and then he went and fought in the Iraq War, so he disappeared 5 years out of my life, kind of wasn't around much, so my mom found some comfort in a church. The older dudes at the church, like in the youth group, knew that my dad wasn't around, so they offered to take me snowboarding, and I really looked up to these guys. They were almost 15 years, 20 years older than me, so I was these cool people in the church, and they ended up taking me snowboarding, and I was dude, I'm hooked. I want to grow up and be a snowboarder. It wasn't a professional snowboarder. It's I wanted to be a snowboarder. I wanted to live the life. I wanted to get the first chairs, the last chairs, and ride the POW days. And so that's what got me into snowboarding, was this idea of I could be a really cool dude. And I think that's really about what it was, being a rad dude. I love the feeling of becoming something new. In my normal day life, I can't jump 15, 30 feet, but I put a snowboard on. All of a sudden, I'm a ninja. I'm a superhero. I'm a Spartan. I can be anything. I can do anything because I got a board on my feet. That gives me superpowers. When it comes to snowboarding, kind of in the coaching mindset, since I'm doing my snowboard camp, progression is, it's up to you. No one can make you be a better snowboarder. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do and take the proper micro steps, whether that's off snow training or on snow. Right, you want to get a 180, maybe unstrap your board, jump around a bunch at the house, and then go to the mountain and make sure you put in that switch riding before you even throw that first 180. There's some steps you need to do before just expecting to be better. So put in that work, but enjoy every moment of it, and just take advantage of the very few days the average person gets on snow. Just because you ride 10 days a season doesn't mean you can't get better. You just got to show up with the intention of learning as well as having fun. Obviously fun first, always.
Yeah, so my name is Abhinav Goyal. Currently, I'm living in Hong Kong, so took a 20+ hour flight to get here, but I'm pretty stoked. Just been working on some board slides and front ones, and I think I'm getting there, so yeah. The best part is, well, the off-snow part, I think that's also really good. Just meeting so many people, just hanging out with you guys, I think it's pretty sick. In terms of the on-snow stuff, I would say, yeah, just today, getting to front ones. So I guess I hadn't really worked in park stuff before, so getting to the rails and the boxes for first time, I think that was definitely, you know, one of the cool parts of camp.
Sean Carlson. Yeah, there's 4 resorts within like the Detroit area, so they're all within 30 minutes to an hour from me. There's Brighton, Alpine Valley, Pine Knob, and Mount Holly. And even in living in Detroit, you don't like if you're not aware of them. Like living in Detroit, you think there's no way there's a ski resort anywhere within 2 hours of here or something. It's flat. There's absolutely no. But like I said, there's like 4 right there. And so when I found that out, I was like, oh, why don't I just go do this? And so yeah, I guess for someone who's like, it's something I've been trying to get people at work at. They're like, yeah, I used to ski, I used to snowboard. It's like a once a year, you know, something like that. And like, hey, let's go out, you know, just trying to motivate other people because yeah, and that was kind of like how I started. It was not directly just watching people's videos, but those people were motivating me. And so yeah, if I could say something to aspiring snowboarder or something, yeah, just that's what you. If that's what you really enjoy, you should just go do it. I want to get a backside board slide, which I've been getting pretty close on. It'd be cool to nail that, and I guess 1 or 2 or something like that. I would go home happy with that.
It was Anthony Ugalde. My nickname is Ant, Big Ant. My favorite part was just learning new things, getting to hit some more jumps, getting back on the snow after being gone for almost 30 months. It was just a nice refreshment to get back out there and just sliding around. Getting my first board slide, 180s, 360s. They weren't clean, but we're gonna clean those up next year.
But that was one of your goals. You said, I want to work on rotations, and you did. You got them.
Yeah, very slowly. We're working on it, and you know, some of them feel good, some of them don't. And we learn what our natural rotation is. I had never done rotations before this year, so I learned my side is front side. But on the other hand, I'm not fluent in it yet, so it's going to take some time to get comfortable with just landing them on the right, especially in the conditions we've had. It's been straight slush. So there's so many dangerous aspects to snowboarding, and part of that is probably the thrill involved with it. I mean, you're doing things that the majority of the population doesn't do. I mean, let's be honest, like not everybody's out there doing it, especially not from where I'm from. Florida, we don't have very many mountains. I'm determined. I'm not the best, but I'll try my hardest. I'll make mistakes. I'll probably make them twice, but I'll work on them. Thanks, Trailer Tom, for the movies you put out.
You're welcome, sir.
The shots you take, they're pretty epic. You definitely gotta check this man out. He's one of a kind. I couldn't imagine a better friend.
How'd you get the name Slush Badger?
I'm not really sure. I think Chris James just kind of threw that out there one day. Big fan of the slushy conditions. And I don't know, I guess I'm Badger-like.
What's your favorite part about snowboard camp?
Definitely the just getting to hang out with the guys. You know, there's always a number of guys that return from years past, and then new guys that come in, and it's just always a vibe getting, you know, mixing these two groups and, you know, just kind of growing our network. I don't spend a lot of time in front of the camera, so it's usually kind of nerve-wracking. But I'll try to get a couple things put down at least, and then if I'm behind the camera, just always getting a shot or like trying to be creative and get different angles on, you know, the same tricks or something. So had some split board missions that I was proud of. Did the solo trip from the house to top of Buffalo and back. Some of my best friends. I have really good friends from before snowboarding was this big a part of my life, but once, you know, snowboarding really became like the focal point of my life, then all of my friends revolve around it. So the guys that I live with are, you know, people that I met through snowboarding and that I snowboard with regularly. And we live a really cool life. It's really fun, really exciting, but it's also a lot of work, you know? Like those edits take a lot of time, and just to snowboard as much as we do, it takes a toll on you. You know, you gotta ride when you wouldn't want to, or most people wouldn't go. So it's not always easy, but it's 100% worth it.
Oh, what do you think of the snowboard themed album that Chris James did called Far Out?
I think it's the sickest album of all time. It's rad. Special shout out to Slush City, my namesake song. It's super rad, but it's really cool. He wrote that album kind of inspired by our writing, and so a lot of the songs are kind of named after or around groups of our crew, or just inside jokes that we've had throughout the year. So it's cool. It's Chris James has put a lot of time and a lot of heart and soul into that album. So it's just sick. I love being able to share it with everybody now.
Alright, so I got the nickname Nate the Lifty. I was a lifty at Mammoth Mountain, where I got this lift crew hat, and as you can see, it's mine.
Right there.
It's mine.
That's the Nate custom Mammoth hat.
The Nate custom lifty crew hat. Keep shredding. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, if you've been doing it for 12 years. Just keep going, and you'll find where you belong in this community, whether it's backcountry, big mountain, park, groomers. Everybody's got their own style. There's a lot of big park riders that think that riding groomers is stupid, but then you've got people that rip groomers that think riding park is stupid. And then you've got the big mountain dudes that are like, why are you guys even on resort? It's like, there's so much to it. You will find your part of where you belong in this community. You just have to stick to it.
So it's June 15th right now. You're still shredding. You had the first scan of the icon pass, so you obviously got out there early.
For sure.
And you're still stoked, still going.
Yeah, we're looking at, 8 months in a row now. I think my goal this season is I don't have a day goal. My roommate Damon, he has a goal of 200. He just recently hit that last week. 200 days on snow, that's a massive accomplishment. I don't want to hold myself to that goal just because I don't want to put that pressure and burn myself out of the sport that I love, Whereas I think my goal right now is to snowboard at least once all 12 months. So we're in June, we'll find a way in July, we'll find a way in August, we'll find a way in September, and hopefully the resort's open October.
Oh, Tom, that was sick. So Tom is making a sequel to his amazing sci-fi snowboard film. So that's why he's got the costume on. Might see other costumes this whole week, but it's pretty rad, Tom.
Thank you,
If you missed his last one, you can watch it right here. Go click right there. Send it, Tom.
Good plug, let's do it.
The best part about snowboarding is it's whatever you want it to be. If you want it just to be your fun thing you do with your family and friends, it can be that. If you want it to be, the way you compete against yourself mentally, you can get into the park and really push yourself. If it's the way you want to compete against other people, you can jump into the competition scene. And if you want to be a pro, you want to make it your living, there's many ways to do that as well. Obviously, from ski instructing or working at the resort all the way to being one of the best riders in the world. Personally, when I was a kid, when I said I was 11, I wanted to grow up and be a snowboarder. I didn't really know what that meant, but I knew that if I chased the dream, the passion of just snowboarding every day I can, as much as I can, and just enjoy learning and loving the sport, then the proper door would open up. And for me, that door ended up being content, YouTube, helping other people become a better snowboarder through my videos, but completely allowing me to still have complete snowboard freedom on the mountain. I wasn't tied to the 9 to 5 of the ski resort. I wasn't having my past dangled over my head. I got to be my own snowboard boss, but still get to do it for a living and helping other people, and then becoming those older dudes in the church to thousands and thousands of other people. So, which is really rad, and the purpose and the why behind why I work so hard and post so many videos. On the other side, or the main thing, it's also really fun to do that. So go out there, make snowboarding for you, make it fun, and keep evolving.